Today we'll be speaking to Sanjay Basrur, who has over 25 years of experience working in multiple companies such as HDFC Bank, IBM, and Oracle. He is currently setting up a venture with his brother in the field of music. So, Sanjay, could you tell us, with the advent of technology, some jobs are becoming more important, whereas some are also becoming more redundant. So, what skills do you think students need in order to stay ahead of the learning curve?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sean. Uh, what I feel is that it's extremely important for students in terms of to stay ahead in the learning curve, get a hang of the soft skills. Because while I understand that most of them would already have done some basic education, either in engineering or in whatever field they chose to, but I think in today's times it's extremely important to kind of have a lot of soft skills which will help you and which will take you a long way in today's world. So what I feel is, first is obviously a lot of creativity. I mean, you should have a lot of creative bent of mind. I think it's extremely important to uh, find out what our interests are, what our passions are, and keep on exploring that. So maybe an opportunity will come your way one fine day. So I think it's constantly you need to be creative and stay on top of what you like and what you want to achieve. I think the second most important uh, soft skill that students probably need to have is learn how to deal with failure, because a lot of times it's always not a bed of roses. A lot of things can go wrong and always will go wrong. But it's extremely important for uh, a person or a student to get over it, not spend too much time crying over spilt milk, and just look towards the future. I mean, you can always recoup yourself. You can uh, look for, I mean, the whatever mistakes you have committed, learn from them, and just get on with it. I think that will really hold on in good stead in the long run. So it's extremely important to learn to deal with failure and not just uh, get upset about it and spend too much time crying over it. Uh, and I also think that in terms of other skills that a student needs to have is good communication, because the way you present yourself, I mean, communication in all terms. I mean, the way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you uh, uh, react to a situation. So I think that's extremely important for a student to communicate well, because the opposite person or the opposite party will obviously want, I mean, would should get impressed upon the way you conduct yourself, the way you talk, the way you speak, the way you react to situations. So that's extremely important, because ultimately communication is the key to everything, because that's what will present uh, to the world as to what you want to tell them. So I think it's important for a student to be on top with his communication. Uh, Also, I think in terms of planning, because ultimately what you want to do, how you want to go about it, what are the options in front of you, what is that you want to achieve in life. So a lot of time needs to go in planning for it, because you need to have clarity as to what you need to do, and find ways to achieve it. So, and obviously a lot of lessons to be learned on the way. So learn from it, plan, and then execute it. And obviously then again, it's a cycle. So you learn from it again, plan and execute. So I think planning goes a long way in terms of putting down your strategy, how do you want to achieve it, and uh, in terms of a SWOT analysis. I mean, if you look at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I think planning will really help you to fulfill your dreams and ambitions, and go about in a very systematic and a methodical way. That's, I think, a very simple way of achieving success. Also, I think it's important to most important is while you will do all of this, I think in terms of leadership skills, then maybe uh, self motivation, teamwork. So some of the soft skills are important to kind of develop over a period of time, because this is what will help a student to actually work in teams, or maybe keep the motivation high at all points, because right now times are very difficult. So things may not go your way all the time, so you need to be self motivated and try to figure out that what are the options available for me. If plan A doesn't work, do I have a plan B? So what do I do? I mean, so that's very important in terms of keeping yourself motivated and uh, kind of focused on your what you want to do. And I also feel a little bit of in terms of managing your money, because what happens is, in a lot of students, whenever they see money at a very young age, I mean, they tend to go overboard, and they feel that money is everything. And if I can get whatever 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs salary per month, or whatever that amount is, I mean, see, ultimately, money is, I mean, you have to have money, but too much of excess or too much of wealth in your hands at a very young age can probably spoil you. So it's always important to uh, understand the value of I mean, the money that you earn. And probably, yes, you need to spend it wisely. And also, most important is, as we have all learned from our parents, from our grandparents, it's always better to invest and uh, keep it for that one rainy day, because you never know, tomorrow you may not have a job, or you may need to uh, suddenly have a lot of expenses that you come your way. So unless you save and invest and watch it grow, I think that's the most important part of it. I mean, money is good, required, but obviously you need to take care of it, and it'll grow over a period of time. So, which is very important. So, I think these are some of the skills in addition to whatever education you have done and whatever are your interests and passions. I think it's important for students to remember that uh, you need to constantly develop yourself as an individual, because there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that would come your way, but some of them, if you can kind of grow over a period of time, it'll really help you and make you a very strong individual. And obviously, with those skills coupled with your education and whatever interest you have, I think really makes you a very successful person.
Right. So
Yeah.
thank you for explaining all these skills required for students in the future, because I think it's really important for students to understand this, because soon they'll be also getting into the job market. So thank you so much for your time, Sanjay, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Sean. I wish you all the best too.